Welcome back to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Thank you for staying with us. The Executive Director of the St. Lucia Employers Federation, Joseph Alexander, is calling on employers, trade unions, and the Ministry of Education to deal with the issue of poor work ethic and low productivity in young graduates entering the workforce. He says this problem is a grave concern and reflects on the education sector and how it is currently failing the youth.
When students come from school, they should be ready for the world of work. And we're realizing for quite some time now that they are not ready for the world of work.
That was Executive Director for the St. Lucia Employers Federation, Joseph Alexander, who claims the human resource is facing a grave recruitment issue. He laments the continued complaints of employers in regards to the work ethic of young employees, specifically those fresh from the education system.
We're facing a major issue with the students coming out of school. Quite a few employers are complaining that the students coming out now hardly have a proper work ethic. So one, it is a reflection of the society first and foremost, but most importantly, it is a reflection on our education system.
Alexander suggests that the employers take necessary precaution when investing in young, inexperienced employees.
And I would suggest strongly to employers that if you're going to invest in a young employee, that you make the probationary period 6 months. So that would give you enough time to assess the employee, and if you spend money on training them, you may be able to recoup some of that in the interim.
He believes the issue of poor work ethic greatly reflects the values instilled in students through the education system, and if St. Lucia is to properly address the issue of youth unemployment, great focus must be placed on adapting an education system which is conducive to the standards required to make an employable individual. For 7 News, I am Jacques Wooding.
Given the importance of science, technology, and associated skills in ensuring the competitiveness of young people in the current workforce, the Aspire Artemis Foundation advocates to ensure that culture and the arts are not left far behind. Working to provide holistic educational training opportunities for vulnerable youth, founder Hermina Johnny says an ongoing workshop will introduce St. Lucia's youth to top-of-the-line technology, complements Microsoft.
Aspire Artemis is a foundation based in New York and founded by St. Lucian entrepreneur Hermina Johnny. According to Johnny, when founding Aspire Artemis, she sought to create an entity which could engage like-minded individuals to collectively contribute towards long-term development, sustainably changing lives, fostering strong communities, engaging neighboring cultures, and making a positive impact on the human resource. She says the foundation strongly embraces the STEAM initiative, which was born from the realization of the important relationship between scientific development and the arts.
Aspire Artemis Foundation goes a bit further in that we think that if you incorporate arts and culture into the STEM education program, it allows for creativity and innovation, because arts and culture spurs creativity and innovation. Music, arts and culture is a part of who we are, and we think that instead of letting the science, technology, engineering, and math fields remain separate from each other, they should work together in unison. Architecture and design utilizes the arts, so many science fields, math fields. I can't think of anything that doesn't have an arts and culture aspect integrated into it. So arts and culture for us is cross-sectoral.
The foundation is committed to promoting cultural exchange and language learning, as well as highlighting the achievements of brave women who have overcome adversity in the developing world. In collaboration with Microsoft, the civil society, the Ministry of Education, Caribbean Girls Hack, the private sector, and several grassroots organizations, a groundbreaking day of activities will unfold on February 11th with the regional debut of Microsoft HoloLens technology.
We have brought together a multitude of partners from across the globe, and this is groundbreaking that Microsoft has, for the first time in the region, brought their HoloLenses to premiere in St. Lucia. Now, these HoloLenses have a capacity to change your mind and show you what is possible within the technology field.
Tomorrow's activities will involve specially selected students from several of the nation's secondary schools and will span from hands-on simulations with HoloLens technology, lectures from Microsoft representatives, and a crash course on how to approach employment in the vast fields within the concept of STEAM. For Hot 7 News, I am Jacques Oude.
In an effort to increase the competitiveness of the human resource capacity here in St. Lucia, the Employers Federation has announced an upcoming youth training program. It targets people below the age of 30. Executive Director of the St. Lucia Employers Federation, Joseph Alexander, says the program aims to better equip young people to become valuable employees.
In essence, what we intend to do is to approach the schools towards the end of the school year and find out which students may be interested and in what fields. Then we would invite our members to give us a list of how many students they would like and also what categories, what fields they're looking for. And we can get in touch back with the schools and advise them what the employers are looking for, and maybe even ask them for recommendations as to which students, they would like to send for this youth group.
Alexander strongly believes that the issue of poor workplace satisfaction can be addressed by allowing young employees to experience several working environments and make informed decisions when selecting a profession.
Some of it, we believe, is because the youth have not been exposed to the work environment. That's one. The other thing too is they may take a job and they're not really cut out for that job. So they may think they like, for example, the hospitality industry, and when they get inside of there, they're to find out that they've got to work on weekends and on holidays. They may decide they don't like it. Whereas if you give them some prior experience at work, then they could have made up their mind as to what they want to proceed, in what direction they want to go, and they would be in a better frame of mind to deal with it.
Anyone interested in pursuing training opportunities with the St. Lucia Employers Federation is asked to remain vigilant for future media releases. On the 6th of March, the world will mark World Day of Prayer. The World Day of Prayer St. Lucia Committee is busy organizing and mobilizing to stage what they hope will be a powerful and transformational movement of prayer. Priest in charge of the Anglican Communion in the South, Reverend Eleanor Glasgow, says the focus will be on a country on the continent of Africa.
Each year, for some time now, there's an international coming together where we pray for a particular country, which is decided on by the World Day of Prayer International Committee. And this year we are focusing on the country of Zimbabwe in Africa. And specifically we pray for women and their children who are disadvantaged by the various structures, socio-political structures in their country. And we believe that the more persons coming on board, sending up prayers, that God will act on our behalf.
Reverend Glasgow says men are not being ostracized and will form an integral part of the movement.
Though we're focusing on women and their children, we want to take a more global approach and look at the family structure. So if we have the men on board with us, that's the kind of support that we want.
The World Day of Prayer service will be held on Friday, the 6th of March at the Holy Trinity Anglican Church under the theme, Rise, Take Up Your Mat and Walk. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more coming up after the break.